Coming up next on the CHGO Cubs podcast, presented by Toyota and Bet365. Load up the old beer bat. Cody's ready to go. He's got a fresh haircut. Cubs are back at Wrigley and winning games again. Dansby, his 9th dinger of the season, and Drew Pomeranz, his first save in 5 years. CHGO Cubs ready to vibe next. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? This is the CHGO Cubs podcast, driven by Toyota. Let's go places and Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Use the code CHGO365 at sign-up. Cubs win 5-2, a nice win over the Marlins. Luke Stuckmeyer, Cody Delmendo, Sarah running the 1s and 2s for us tonight. The beer bat has been cleaned out. It's ready to go. Cubs back at Wrigley and back to winning ball games. Hi to everybody in the live YouTube chat. At the new CHGO Cubs YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, tell a friend, hit the like button on it, hit the like button on this show. Please. Check out the shorts, the mini pods, the VODs.
Yes.
And all the hot content. We got a great merch deal we're going to tell you about that is up and running in just a bit. But first, we're going to get to this Cubs win because they had lost 4 out of 5 games. And I was starting to worry that we were going to go into that same type of slump that they did last year.
I think you and many others.
People were like, hey, great April.
PTSD, man.
And then the wheels fell off for 2 months.
Yeah.
So hopefully the schedule is going to ease up on a team that's a little banged up right now. 5-2 win. The offense wasn't doing anything. Colin Rea was doing his thing. We'll talk about him. But then Dansby Swanson. Cody, I sat down in my chair tonight and I said to you, Dansby Swanson is like plus 650 to hit a home run tonight.
You did.
And then I said after his first at bat, Cody, Dansby Swanson's like plus 650 to hit a home run tonight.
You did.
And the two of us sat there like two dopes and didn't go to Bet365 and throw it down.
Like a bunch of dopes.
Yep. And then boom. There it goes, his 9th home run of the season. I would like those of you that are in the live YouTube chat or listening to this on the podcast, those of you that have slandered Dansby Swanson over the last couple of years, I'm not saying you don't have a right to be, pessimistic or down on him sometimes, but those of you that have done it this season, take a good look in the mirror and just say to yourself, I was wrong. It's okay to say it. It's all right to say it. He's got 9 home runs. He's on pace for a 40 home run season. Why does everybody get down on this guy?
Oh, well, let's be honest about 2 things here. Right?
He's streaky. Offensively.
And last year, for 3 months, he really was bad offensively.
Yep.
A lot better in the second half of the year. And when he does go into slumps, it's almost like he is completely unproductive as an offensive hitter.
But when he's doing that, he's still good defensively.
Absolutely. No, I'm not. What I just said about his offense has nothing to do with his overall value. Going into tonight, so this doesn't include tonight's numbers, Dansby Swanson, since the beginning of 2023, had the 5th highest WAR among shortstops in all of baseball, with only Gunnar Henderson, Corey Seager, Francisco Lindor, and Bobby Witt Jr. ahead of him. Does a lot of that value come from defense? Absolutely. Because out of all these players that I just mentioned, he has a 103 WRC plus, while those other 4 players, 146, 159, 132, 143. All those players are significantly better offensive hitters. I'm not saying that people that have said that he or have criticized him are necessarily wrong about certain things. I will say that when people say that Dansby Swanson is Jason Hayward 2.0, I legitimately think you're idiotic and need to just leave the podcast up, but go take a walk.
Hit a like button and then go
because
take a walk.
Dansby Swanson has been as valuable as you could have asked for a guy who's making $177 million over 7 years. So, yes, he gets streaky. And right now, he's hot. And it's not even just a week. He's been hot since they went to Pittsburgh. Remember, they moved him to the 8-hole? He's been hot the entire month of May.
Order, which we've said all along, on a good team is where he belongs.
Yeah.
Right? Because he is that streaky guy. But they showed this stat tonight. While we know he's as good as anybody, if not better than everybody, defensively at shortstop, and he is streaky, he's giving you this power, right? So it's not been just one great month of the season you can say, oh, it doesn't project it. No, really, it's kind of been, he's had the roller coaster, and he's still on pace for 35 to 40 home runs this year. I'm not saying it's going to play out, but he's tied with Lindor at 9 home runs for the most home runs of any shortstop in Major League Baseball. And the guys that they thought about signing or tried to sign even before him, okay, so he has 9 home runs. Carlos Correa, 2 home runs this year. Trey Turner, 2 home runs this year. Xander Bogaerts doesn't even play short. 2 home runs.
Well, he's playing more short this year.
Some. Mookie Betts, 6. Seager, 6. Gunnar Henderson, 5. Bobby Witt, who's spectacular, 5. I'm just saying, of the 4 that were out there, he's been more valuable than all of them. The other 3, and already this year, he's got 7 more homers than all those guys.
Yeah. When I was talking about just going back to the beginning of 2023, Dansby Swanson has been more valuable than any of the guys that were free agents
and signed the cheapest deal of the 4.
Yes. Trey Turner is the only one that I think you can make an argument that the Cubs should have signed instead of him for offense. But I don't think he's nearly as good of defensive player as him. But either way, it comes down to role and what are you expecting. My thing about Dansby this year that is just a good sign, and we'll see what happens. And I'm just going to continue to expect what I expect, which is a league average hitter who gives you elite defense at shortstop. Is last year, he hit his 9th home run in July.
Yeah.
He just hit his 9th home run this year in the middle of May. And that helps when you're healthy, and that helps when you're not hitting in the top 5 of the order. I know some of those were in the top 5 of the order this year, but he's significantly been hitting better in the bottom third of the lineup.
Which is where he belongs.
This is exactly where he belongs.
And Cody, everything you said about him has happened this season. He got off to a good start. Then he went into the slump when everybody got mad. Now he's hitting well again since they moved him down in the order. And you're like, okay, so there's the roller coaster. I'm just saying, he's got 9 home runs. Let's just say he hits 30 this year. That defense and 30 home runs and a batting average that's, up and down and inconsistent, you're not going to live with that? I don't get it.
Yeah. No,
I don't. There's lots of problems there have been lots of problems over the last couple of years with this team. To me, Dansby Swanson hasn't been one. You didn't sign the guy to hit 40 home runs. So if he hits 30, you're going to be jumping out of your boots happy. They want to exceed projections. Guys, he's exceeding projections at shortstop this year.
Yeah. I'm bringing up the box score now, and we can look at his overall numbers for the season. I mean, I think Ryan Dempster said it on the broadcast. Probably I think he said he looked a couple weeks ago, so let's just say late April, and that's when he was really struggling. He had a sub 600 OPS. After tonight, he has a 775 OPS. He's hitting 248, which is around what he's done through his career. A 240, I think 243 is the league average batting average in today's era of baseball.
Yeah.
But he's offensively, he is giving the Cubs he's actually kind of surpassing what I'm expecting. Not only with the home runs, but I'm asking for a 750 OPS, and he's giving you a 775. Is there a big difference in that? No. But that's what happens when you slugging the way that he's slugging, though. So Will he slump again eventually? Most likely. But as long as someone else steps up, and doesn't even have to hit home runs, but just, that's why this team has had success so far is, Tucker isn't red hot right now. All right, no. Well, you score 5 runs tonight because Swanson hit a homer and so did Seiya Suzuki, right?
Who's also going to hit 30 this year.
He's on
if
pace.
He stays healthy.
Right.
I see Isaac in the live YouTube chat here at the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel says, I love Dansby. There's no way he's hitting 30. He's even in the seasons where we're saying he's quote unquote having a bad year.
Yeah.
He's still hitting 25. He's got 9 right now. Unless he gets hurt, knock on wood, he's hitting 30 home runs this year. I really believe that. I think they have at least 3 guys on this team that are going to hit 30 home runs. And there might be more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, could Happ hit 30? Maybe. Could Bush hit 30? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker, I would assume, is going to be a 30 homer guy.
Mm-hmm.
Seiya and Dansby, those would be the favorites in my mind, but Bush is right there.
And you forgot Pete Crow Armstrong.
I forgot Pete Crow Armstrong, and heck, Carson Kelly might hit 30 the way we're going.
Now I need to get the
Now the spray needs to come out. I know. But don't you agree that there's at least 30?
Yeah.
We've been begging for 30 home run guys on this team. I don't know that there's a 40. I don't know that he's going to hit 40 home runs, even though he's on pace for 40 home runs.
Yeah.
But I do think there are multiple 30 home run hitters on this year's team. Not guys just hitting 20.
Mm-hmm.
This offense is showing it's different this year, and that Tucker changes some things, and the growth of PCA and some other things have also changed. There are multiple guys that should hit 30 home runs.
Yeah. Well, right now, looking at this box score, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 guys in this lineup, tonight's lineup, so this doesn't even include Ian Happ.
Right.
6 guys with an OPS over 800. Last year, it was like everyone was in the 700s. And then the one guy that I think finished over 800 last season was Seiya Suzuki. So I think the odds of them having multiple 30 home run seasons based off what we've seen so far, I would bank on Kyle Tucker. And I can't believe I'm saying it, but like Pete Crow Armstrong continues to slug. He didn't have a great game offensively tonight, but listen, he's got 10 homers right now. We're in mid-May, and he was projected for 10. Projected for 10 to start the year. Swanson is making a case. I think as long as he stays healthy and he is in the bottom third of that lineup, he will be more valuable there than anywhere else, and he is going to have opportunities to do it. But I think the only way that he's going to actually reach 30 is if he just doesn't go through those 2 to 3 week slumps. If he's going to slump, he just can't slump the way that he did in April. So, people were questioning if he was hurt, this and that.
But he already snapped out of his first slump.
Yeah. No, and I think
who's more likely to get that 30, PCA or Dansby? I think they're both going to get there. I really do. And maybe I need the reality spray.
Maybe I do too.
But one guy's got 10, one guy's got 9. Because Dansby has already been a 25 guy, the smart money might be on Dansby Swanson.
Maybe, yeah.
And that's not taking anything away from PCA.
Based off experience and what you've seen throughout their careers, we haven't seen enough from PCA. He went in today tied with Fernando Tatis Jr. for highest WAR in the National League. Swanson,
and he's in an MVP race.
Right. And Swanson is, like you said, he's had a 25 homer season before. So maybe Swanson is the guy to bet on there. But the point is that you got more than just one guy here who's producing. And I think going into the season, many people were like, oh, what is Tucker going to do for this lineup? You still got 8 other guys that got a hit. And listen, this is even when he's not like quote unquote otherworldly like he was in the first 3 weeks of April, you still have other guys who are benefiting from him being in the lineup, man. And so I don't know how much Kyle Tucker's presence in the lineup helped this offense tonight, but all I know is that Dansby Swanson in the bottom third of the lineup is better than anywhere else that you want him in the lineup. So just keep him there. That could change based off injury or someone else at the top, near the top of the lineup is slumping and you got to move someone up. We watch all these things happen throughout the season, right? But I just think he's really excelling at the bottom third of the lineup, and that's where this team will be better offensively if he's down there.
I think Demp summed it up today when he said, somebody asked me recently, what do you know about this team? And it was that they're going to score runs. And I don't know if I would have said that entering spring training, but here we are, and that's where we're at. Yep. I wish I would have bet on Dansby Swanson to homer at plus 650 tonight. Cody, we could have done it. Where? Bet 365.
You're right. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet 365. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use code CHGO 365. Deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. With the Bet 365 early payout offer, you're a winner if your team goes 5 runs ahead with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. You would have done that tonight after the 5-run 5th inning the Cubs had. You would have just won your bet immediately. Wouldn't have even had to sweat out Drew Pomerantz in the 9th inning. That's a very cool promo. Sometimes teams blow it. We've watched the Cubs blow it, right? But not tonight, thankfully. Anyway, so again, new customers get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. You just got to use the code CHGO365. Deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. You can use it on spreads, totals, player props like I do a ton, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be assessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. And I lost every single bet tonight, so don't listen to me.
Next time my gut tells me bet on Dansby Swanson, I will bet on Dansby Swanson.
Yep. I'll listen to you too.
Like two dopes, we sat there.
Yep.
Summer is almost here technically, but apparently it is already going to be here this week. Did you see it's going to be like 87 on Thursday? Is your home's air conditioning up for that challenge? Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric has been serving the Chicago area for over 50 years. Now's the time to get your air conditioning checked out, and Four Seasons experts are ready to help you with AC installation, maintenance, and repair. 2024 was officially Chicago's hottest year on record. Heat index actually reached 114 last summer at O'Hare. When it's hot and humid, you want to know that your home is going to be cool and comfortable. Just because sometimes we got to sweat out these Cubs games doesn't mean you have to sweat it out in your house. Four Seasons expert technicians ensure you always get reliable service. Right now, save up to $4,000 on new comfort systems with Four Seasons. New AC units from $39 a month and AC furnace combos from $57 a month. Call 866-4-SEASONS. Your trusted local experts are Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's Four Seasons Heating, Cooling.com. Cubs win 5-2. Dansby Swanson goes yard. Seiya Suzuki also homered in this game, and he seems to be getting back on track. And Cody Delmendo is 1-0 with a fresh haircut today.
I did. Shout out to Tony from Lakeview Sports Clips.
That's who's getting the Sam Adams American Light beer bat? Oh, I thought that you brought it up. That was your dedication. I thought the dedication was to the guy Tony. But it's going to be for a baseball player. Keep in mind, when Cody gets ready to do this, I see Craig has already predicted 9:69.
Nice.
A lot of people trying to predict the time here. Anything under 10:25, we have declared a quality beer bat chug. Cody has only had one this season that has not been under 10:25, and we are crediting that to his growth as a player and also the Sam Adams American Light. It goes down light and smooth. Mostly
the Sam Adams American Light. We gave Dansby a ton of, a nice little shout out. But let's give it to Colin Rea tonight. I think you got to give it to Colin Rea.
Talking about him now.
Nearly went 7 innings of no runs. Gave up that home run to, was it Derek Hill? I think his name was some guy on the Marlins, of course. But other than that, he was awesome. And they need innings. They need their starters to go deeper in the games. I've been emphasizing it a lot lately. That way the bullpen doesn't fall even more apart than I feel like a lot of you probably feel like. So Colin Rea, we're going to talk about him a ton here probably in the second segment, but He's been awesome this year. I think his last start before tonight, I think, was probably, quote-unquote, his worst start, which he still kept the Cubs in the game, I think. So, yeah, he's been a great addition for the Cubs. So,
all right. Remember, now, Sarah and I both have stopwatches. We usually take an average of that. Last time, we had the exact same time because credit to us.
That was pretty amazing.
It was epic. Remember that the Sam Adams American Light has to hit Cody's lips before we start the stopwatch. That's when the chug officially starts. And here we go.
All right.
To Colin Rea, Sam Adams American Light, Cody Del Mendo. And the beer has hit. The beer is halfway down the barrel. The barrel seems to be going. He's got a bit of a wave going, but now he's down to the handle. The tilt back and
10-1-6.
10-1-6, and I have a 9.55. I feel like I was a little bit late on the draw.
I feel like you were a little late,
but
too.
it is still faster than 10.25, which makes it yet another quality start for Colin Rea and a quality chug for Cody Del Mendo. He also did not spit it up. He hasn't spit one up in like 2 years now.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you did.
Remember that one where he choked?
Yeah.
Just kind of sprayed it all over me.
Come on, man.
That hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah, and then Kevin freaking cursed the Cubs after that. People want to blame me for it, but it was actually Kevin.
That's right,
who did
Kevin.
It. Anyway.
Yes, Eva Wax, we know that the crappy Cardinals won their 9th in a row. The Cubs are still in first place.
Can I throw out a theory?
Yeah.
Related to that? That, like, what they beat up on the Pirates, they beat up on the Nationals, and they beat the Phillies tonight, who are a good team, right? I'm just curious about, like, what does the Cardinals front office want them to do? Because John Mozeliak is headed out at the end of the season anyway. They basically have already handed the job to Heimblum, but not technically. And they tried to move Nolan Arenado last offseason, and then they did absolutely nothing. They signed a reliever like in February. That was their one free agent signing. They tried hard to
trade Arenado in the offseason.
So I'm very intrigued to see how the Cardinals act if this keeps up, because I think if they keep winning games, it will hurt them long term. They are also the Cardinals, and in most of my life, they have been a good organization. But that is why I've also enjoyed the last 2.5 years. So we'll see. We'll see what happens over the next couple weeks. But they beat up on the Pirates and the Nationals. They won a game in Philly tonight. Fine, but I don't know if them winning games is good for them long term.
Yeah. I see a lot of people in the live YouTube chat here at the new CHGO Cubs YouTube channel, which, by the way, subscribe and like, tell a friend, want to start talking about the closer's role and the bullpen. We will do that in the next segment. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not forget the man you just dedicated the beer bat chug to, Colin Rea, 6 2/3 inning, 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 2 walks. Now, the second walk is the reason it was a 2-run homer. The leadoff or walk, and then the home run. Mm-hmm. I have no problem at all with Craig Counsell trying to get 7 out of Colin Rea the way he was pitching. And it was not a mistake.
And they were up 5-0.
Yeah, because they had the lead. Okay, his ERA is still a 2.48 this season. On the way here, I listened to yesterday's pod with you and Joey. Great job, by the way. Wonderful podcast. Enjoyed it the whole time.
Thanks. Someone in the chat earlier said that they asked like how your day in Mexico was.
Oh, Mexico? Bueno. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Anyway.
Took mom and my wife just to Mexico for a couple hours, brought them back. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. But yesterday you were talking about best deals the Cubs had signed in the offseason, right? Like, we know the Bregman thing didn't happen at third. It might look as a mistake here at this point, obviously. Mm-hmm. But you were talking about values, deals, and you were talking about Matthew Boyd, 2 for $29 million, the AAV of 14.5. Great deal. Mm-hmm. Can't forget Carson Kelly, 2 for 11.5, so not even $6 million a year. He's been spectacular as your backup catcher, if you will. But I offer you Colin Rea. I agree that Boyd has been spectacular. Carson Kelly has been spectacular. I would say to you, Colin Rea for $4.5 million and a team option for $6 million next year if you want, seems like a pretty good idea. Not just like I'm talking about next year. I heard Counsell on the pregame show saying he's been exactly what we needed him to be. We knew this was going to happen. You go into the season thinking, man, I hope I don't have to use Rea in the rotation. Not because he's not good. You just hope you can use him other ways. Mm-hmm. But you know you're going to use him in the rotation because starters always get hurt.
Yeah.
And now you've got a guy who's got an ERA under 3, and he seems like Mr. Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
He's been an incredible value to this team.
Well, one of the things that I love about him, he's got an 84 percentile walk rate, which means where he's 84th percentile on walk rate, 5% overall. If you go 2 different ways there. So that means that he doesn't walk guys. Yeah. And so he goes out there, throws strikes. His fastball velocity is up this year, around 94. It was lower than that last year. He's touching 95, 96 other times.
But he can place that fastball right on the outside, inside, outside, inside, up, down.
His barrel percentage is low. His hard hit rate is low, like above league average. He has. You would talk about exceeding projections. He is pitching better than he did with the Brewers last year, and he pitched nearly 170 innings for the Brewers last year. So I think there's one thing on here that is very, very low chase rate. Doesn't get a ton of chase, but he throws strikes, so it's okay. I do think that he benefits with having a good defense behind him. I've said this before. I'll say it again. This is just an older version of Javier Assad. But I do think that he has shown, and he showed it tonight, he has shown that he can give you more than 5 innings. He can go 6. He can find a way to go 6+.
He was 1 pitch away from 7 shutout innings.
Yes.
And I know it was against the Marlins, but go back and look at his starts.
Yeah.
He's been really good.
And it was against the Marlins. But
without that home run, his ERA is under 2.
Right. If it's the Marlins, but what if he didn't pitch well against the Marlins?
Exactly my point. And we'll get to Ben Brown before the show's over, but Ben Brown's got to pitch well at home now. Let's see if he can keep up with what Colin Rea's doing. And people in the chat, I saw other names that are being thrown out. What about Hollowell? What about Flexen? What about those deals? Yeah, let us know in the chat. Who do you think's been the best value? I mean, Carson Kelly has been spectacular. Boyd has been great, but he's the highest money of the group, obviously, because he'd shown it a little bit. I'll give you Brad Keller, $1.5 million. I tell you what, he's in my triangle of trust.
He's definitely in the circle.
Right?
Definitely in the
circle. For $1.5 million?
Yeah. He was a non-roster invitee. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Godfather, I'm with you. They should be over the luxury tax. I'm just saying that some of the smaller, quote-unquote, moves that were made this offseason have turned out very, very well so far this season. Dare I say, exceeding projections. That doesn't mean I don't think there should be a big one still coming, or maybe 2. Yeah. But some of the small moves, I do tip my cap and say, so far, pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Related to Rea, too, he says he has a 4.77 FIP, but his expected FIP is nearly a run lower. So, some of these other numbers about him are really interesting. But, man, for a guy that when they signed him, I think the timing of the signing for him was not good because they traded for Tucker, and then it might have been a week or less than a week later they signed Colin Rea, and people are like, why are they signing him? We just traded for Tucker. And people, I think
because everybody wanted another big starter at that point.
Yes, exactly. And so a lot of people were down on that signing because of the timing of it. But I never hated it. It was more about how are you going to use him and how many starts do you see this guy getting and stuff like that. for right now, he's giving you huge innings with Steele and Shota out and Assad out, right? It's just like Matt Boyd. Will he still be giving you these types of innings late in the season? And I ask that, or I question it, because if they don't add a starter and more injuries and stuff like that, and the fact that they're not going to have Steele, it sounds like Rea is going to be in this rotation permanently. It does raise the question for me is on if he can be this effective at least late in the season. But
no question.
Right now, he's giving you big innings.
It's hard to say whether or not Carson Kelly's going to keep playing like this too. But right now, it's tough to pick which guy has given the most value to this team in the first month and a half of the season.
Yeah, when you talk about the bullpen guys,
some of them cost nothing.
Right. And I know that the bullpen is not great, but I don't think it's as bad as so many people think. And I've said that many times on the show. It does seem to have figured itself out a little bit after the first couple weeks of the season. And do they have a true bona fide closer? Do they have something as good as what Tanner Scott could have been? Probably not. But I do think that they have options that are better than what they had last year. And I think if they add a starter and they add 2 relievers before the trade deadline, they're gonna at least improve the team, and it will be a better situation. And I'm not wavering. Porter Hodge is still my closer. I don't care what happened yesterday. He's still my closer. And Daniel Palencia took a huge step today.
Oh, wait. That's a great tease for the next segment.
Okay.
Because we are going to talk about that closer role and some of the options. But first, Cody, a word from our sponsors. Just like your favorite team needs a home court, home field, home ice advantage, your home needs a home flooring advantage, and Empire Today can help you get it. Empire Today has flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. We've all been to the big box store. You wander around the aisles. The neon lights make you a little dizzy. They get all these materials. You don't know where to go. Sure, they might have a flooring department, but the person helping you might have been selling toilets yesterday and might be stocking light bulbs tomorrow. Empire Today lives and breathes flooring. Every step of the way, their flooring experts bring the showroom right to your home. So pick the right flooring and the right colors for your space. See how it looks with your furniture in your house. Precise measurements. Empire Today will get you clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule an installation as soon as the next day because nobody likes to wait. So schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. CHGO listeners, wait for it. This is the big announcement. $350 off.
Woo!
All you got to do is use our code CHGO. You heard me right. You enter our 4 letters, CHGO. A $350 discount with the code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit Empire Today /CHGO for full details.
What's your favorite Lucy flavor, Luke?
Well, Cody, I go back and forth. I don't know if I can just pick one. Sometimes I want to pick 5. And then I just say, you know what? It's all of them, Cody.
Yeah, it's all of them. Same for me. The last week I was definitely Lucy was helping me out last week because the Cubs weren't playing that great, right? What, they lost 4 or 5 going in before this game?
4 out of 5 before this game.
Right. And, it is a stressful game on Saturday. Helped me get through that game. And then sometimes when they just have a bad, like an annoying loss or just a whatever loss, one that you throw in the lake, it just helps you get through some of the frustration and anger, helps the anxiety, helps the stress, right? That's when I throw in Lucy, is basically when the Cubs are ruining my day. So thankfully, I'm putting it in more so that times that lead to wins because they've had some close wins of late, and it's just the stress of getting through. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Lucy.
You too could use Lucy whenever the Chicago Cubs are stressing you out. All right. Level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/CHGO and use promo code CHGO2025 to get 20% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Against that, again, that's lucy.co and use code CHGO 2025 to get 20% off. And here's the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. How many people we got watching, Sarah?
164, 64 likes.
That
Make it make sense.
Yeah,
Make it make sense.
That math isn't mathing. Please.
Did they not see the beer bat
And-
chug was under 10.25?
If you are on CHGO Sports right now, you should head over to CHGO Cubs. That way you can join our live YouTube chat.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Oh, please. And
Yeah.
while you're there, subscribe.
And while you're there,
Subscribe,
subscribe.
yeah.
We are 200 subscribers. No, I'm lying. Yeah, no, 200 subscribers away from 3,000,
Oh, we're getting there.
if I'm mathing correctly.
Can we get to 3,000 subscribers before Friday when the Sox come to Wrigley?
That's a good segue.
You know, I was thinking Cody 3000. That'd be a cool name for you. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to forget the deal, by the way.
That's
Let's do the deal real quick.
That's about that. Yeah,
The ball knower bonus is back.
baby. Let's go.
Right now, go buy some merch. All you got to do is spend $25 or more. It's the ball knower bonus. After you buy $25 or more worth of merch, you pick Cubs or Sox. Who's going to win the Crosstown Series this weekend? If you're right, you get a gift card of equal value for what you spent. So if you go out and spend $150 in merch, and by the way, we got a sale going on. I'm going to tell you about that too. If you spend $150 in merch and you pick the Cubs and the Cubs win the series against the Sox, you're getting a $150 gift card after the series. It's a pretty incredible deal.
That is a great deal.
That's allcitynetwork.com/promotions. Now, if you go to the store at allcitynetwork.com, we got a spring cleaning merch sale going on right now. Up to 75% off. 30% off the entire store, but up to 75% off. We got all our new shirts in there. We've got hoodies in there. We got the brick by brick if you're excited about the Bears. We got the people ask me about the Friday 120 Club shirt all the time.
The Friday 120 Club
Where
shirt
did you get
is
that
the
sick
best
drip
shirt.
stuff?
It's
That's
the
what they
best
say.
shirt. It's the best shirt, man.
And I say the merch store.
Gotta get
A
it.
lot of people like the pizza box one.
I love the pizza box one.
By the way, I saw the Pope loves Aurelio's.
I did see
and
that.
they're calling it the Poperoni this month.
Speaking of the
Running a
Pope,
special on the Poperoni at Aurelio's.
we have a Pope t-shirt that everyone can buy.
We have a Pope shirt that you could also, again, spend your money on the new Pope shirt. Sarah's going to put it up on the screen. If you're just listening in podcast form, check out.
even though he's apparently is a White Sox
allegedly,
fan.
Cody.
Allegedly.
I don't want to hear about it.
Okay.
Everybody keeps saying, I'm watching all these legitimate news organizations fight over whether the Pope is a Cubs fan or a Sox fan. First of all, it's ridiculous. Second of all, we're either taking the word of his brother, who lives on the South Side, or I've seen his roommate of like 10 years saying, no, it's a Cubs fan. That is not factual. Factual will be when the Pope comes out, raises his hand and says, Cubs, and the smoke blows out of the whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, until the Pope says what he is, it's just a rumor. Yeah. I know I've seen him at the White Sox World Series, but I was there too, and I'm not a Sox fan.
Okay.
And then people showing him in Sox gear. I'll show you a picture of me when I was a kid in Sox gear.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me a Sox fan today. So whatever. I don't care if he's a Cubs fan. I don't care if he's a Sox fan. He's a Chicago fan.
I just care if people buy the t-shirt.
And this shirt
fair.
is sick.
Yeah.
It's the Pope hat, stained glass, Chicago skyline in it.
I like what Greg says. The Pope's mom was a Cubs fan.
That's right.
Got to count for something. And she married a Cardinals fan.
And wasn't it just Mother's Day?
Yeah. She married a Cardinals fan, and then
that's right.
According to the internet,
who cares? Is absolutely the right
according
answer.
to the internet, the mom allowed her kids to be White Sox fans. I don't get it, man. So I hope it comes out that he's a Cubs fan, because then my extend Kyle Tucker meme with him
was a great meme.
Would be brought back to life. But yeah,
there it is.
Extend Kyle Tucker, who hit a triple tonight and drove in a run.
And the Friday 120 Club, by the way, if you want to join Cody, Get your
We'll be
tickets
there
on
Friday.
Game Time. And
yeah, we'll be there Friday.
ready to go.
Braggs will be there. I heard Hoag's going to be there, too. He's a White Sox fan.
Hoax, well, and he's going to be wearing a Pope hat probably.
Probably, yeah. I did see that there was a guy who dressed up like a
I
Pope
did.
at the
You
White
know,
Sox game.
I can tell you right now, without even stepping foot in the ballpark, that there will be at least 3 White Sox Pope hats in the bleachers or at the ballpark. Unquestionably, there will be Sox fans wearing the Pope hat.
Do you think it was wrong for the Cubs to put the thing on the marquee to tweet the photo?
Who cares?
I don't care, but we didn't talk about this on Sunday. So
because none of it's factual.
Okay, this is the
we don't know the
this
facts.
is the timeline that I know.
Okay,
right? It came out that the Pope
ABC News.
Whoever
said
it was
he's said he's a Cubs fan.
Reportedly was that he was a Cubs fan. We tweeted the video.
Yeah. Then the Cubs
shout out to
jumped on
Tony
it too.
Gill for recording it for us so we could tweet it out, right? And then we all made some memes, and then most people were talking about how he's a Bears fan. Like, it was just Chicago. It was the most Chicago thing. Everyone reacting to the Pope being from Chicagoland, whatever.
Yeah.
And then like the Cubs tweeted that he is a Cubs fan, tweeted the marquee, and then an hour later, WGN put out their side that
Josh
his brother
Freeman went and interviewed the brother, and the brother said, "I don't know where that came from. Mom was a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
Dad was a Cardinals fan.
Right.
Pope, Sox fan.
Apparently.
Okay.
That's my time. But the idea that the Cubs claimed it, I don't get it because it was reported by ABC News that he was a Cubs fan.
Can't trust ABC News.
I just that's why I don't really understand like the whole like Hoag, for example, quote tweeted the Cubs tweet and said, interested to see how this turns out for the Cubs season if because of this photo or whatever.
Well, the first thing I thought of when I saw that the Pope was the first time it was reported by ABC News that he was a Cubs fan, I was like, oh man, Crane's getting the holy water ready again. Here we go. We're going to have the actual Pope putting holy water in the dugout now.
All I know is that
Anyway,
I bookmarked some tweets, and I hope to be able to share them in like October.
Exciting that the Pope is from Chicago and he's been to the Wiener Circle and he likes Aurelio's and he likes probably one of the baseball teams and probably is a Bears fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was raised by a Cardinals fan. I feel bad for him, actually.
Right.
Actually, it also makes it even more like mind-blowing in many ways that he became a Pope when he was raised by a Cardinals fan, in my opinion. But
anyway. So yeah, we were debating who's going to be the closer in this game because first of all, Palencia comes in. Porter Hodge wasn't going to do it because he was just back-to-back. And Keller had been, used a lot. Otherwise, I would have said Keller if Hodge wasn't available because Merriweather's been a little off, and I worried about my triangle of trust. And I thought to myself, Palencia came in, and now Palencia is starting to solidify himself because he's, amen, thank you, Pope, throwing strikes.
Yes.
And his stuff is so effective when he throws strikes. That's what we've been trying to say over and over. So if Palencia can do that, now Palencia starts to put him in with anybody that's in the conversation.
Yeah.
And he was great tonight.
Yeah.
So, but Palencia wasn't going to go 3 innings, so we said, well.
You mean 2 innings?
Yeah,
he came in the 8th inning. Well, I guess he got the final out of the 7th.
He pitched in 2 different innings, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't going to pitch 3 separate innings, I should have said.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the closer? Who's left? And sure enough, it was Pomeranz. I saw somebody in the live YouTube chat saying, Pomeranz has got to be your closer. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I disagree. But I
love his story, and it was
I
great.
love the story, and
there it is, David Snyder.
Yeah, he's not the closer. And the reason that he was even in that moment was because Hodge pitched 2 consecutive days. Brad Keller pitched 2 consecutive days. Yeah, I think those are your top 2 relievers right now in general. With Palencia,
I like what Evil Wax said. To me, it's Keller and Hodge are your closers.
Mm-hmm.
Palencia is your 8th inning guy. Presley slid back to like the 7th inning now.
Yeah.
And when Brazier comes back, where does Brazier fit into the mix?
And they need Merriweather to have some good high leverage innings for us to feel better about him. I know a lot of people I've read on my Twitter mentions or just in the chat about Merriweather, and people are forgetting how good he's been for them over the last handful of seasons. Last year was hurt, so don't count that one. But 23 was one of their best relievers, and outside of lately, he's been one of their better relievers as well. So, want to highlight Daniel Palencia though, because this guy is a guy that I've believed in for 2 years, and it was all about if he could throw strikes. Marquis tweeted this out. 13 innings pitched this year, 13 strikeouts, 1.38 earned run average with a 0.77 whip. That's really good. The strikeout he got to get the second out in the 8th inning, 99 on painted on the bottom part of the zone. Like that, they say this on the broadcast a lot. When you do that, that's your moneymaker. That's how you make money. That's how you stay in the game. With his velocity, he can throw that pitch in the strike zone and get away with quote unquote mistakes or whatever. But the thing is even when he has walk guys, they have been what I would call competitive walks. Like I think it's one of those where you just credit the guy at the plate.
It's not 4 balls.
Right. He is out there battling, and if he walks a guy, it's been just because this guy fouled some pitches off and maybe just didn't command the last pitch. But when it does happen, it's not like he's folding and falling apart. And that's a big deal because I could talk about Daniel Palencia and how he had been the last 2 years, and then you can straight up compare him to so many other names that we've watched over the years, like Dylan Maples, for example. Ooh. You know what I mean? Right now, though, this guy's throwing strikes, and he has some of the best stuff in this bullpen. And to me, if he keeps this up, he is going to find himself either being that 8th inning guy, like you just said, or he could be the closer because with that velocity, and that stuff, that could be his job. Porter Hodge is still my guy. I'm not wavering on him, and I still believe in him. And I need to see more of him in that role for me to change my mind. But Daniel Palencia is putting himself in position to be in position.
It's been a good stretch for him, no question about it. More on that in just a second, but first another word from our sponsors. New vehicles are in store at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and this is your chance to score a great deal during the employee pricing plus sales event. Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. And right now, lease the new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE for only $245 a month for 24 months. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With a friendly team of brand experts, the team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. And with Ray's Price Promise, you can shop confidently with no add-ons or hidden fees ever. The price you see is the price you pay. It's that simple. Go check out our partner today to shop one of the Chicago area's largest inventories. Find the right new vehicle for you, then drive home happy. The team at Ray CDJR is the only one we recommend. Don't miss out on their employee pricing plus sales event for huge savings on the Jeep Grand Cherokee. For more information, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online raycdjr.com, serving the community since 1963.
Game Time makes scoring tickets to any event that you want faster and easier with exclusive discounts. You'll find great deals for as low as $100. The Game Time guarantee means that you can trust you'll get 100% authentic MLB tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. All right? Like I said, it makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in pricing, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Friday 120 Club on this coming Friday. We're 3-0, my friends. 3-0, undefeated.
So much better than the Sunday record.
Absolutely. Never lost on a Friday in 2025. You come out, hang out with me, Braggs. I think, like I said, Hoag's going to be there. Maybe I can drag Luke there.
Carm
will probably be there. Yeah. Sarah's going to be there. Emma's going to be there.
Everybody shows up for the crosstown.
Right.
Division games is what concerns me. I'll be there for the Reds. I'll tell you that.
The point is you got to get your tickets on Game Time because you're going to get the best value for this particular game on Friday. You're going to get the best value the longer you wait. You come to Murphy's. We get there at 10 a.m. Just follow the Game Time after the next couple hours. Get your ticket before we go in the bleachers. We usually go like an hour before. Maybe you got to hang outside a little bit. We'll save you a spot because we have an entire section. Shout out to my Thai guy, right? And you come in 10, 15 minutes before first pitch. I guarantee you're going to get a better value. You're going to get better price, better value on your ticket than you would right now. That's the point. If you wait, the longer you wait, the better value you're going to get on your ticket. So
Sean Caselli says he'll bring me donuts.
Okay.
And by the way, about using Game Time, we cannot confirm the rumor that is out there that the Pope will make his first American visit and attend Cubs Sox in the bleachers with the Friday.
We cannot confirm,
club.
But
cannot be confirmed. There's a report out there. I don't know who it's from, but there's rumors out there that the Pope will show up and declare his Cubs or Sox fandom in the bleachers with the Friday 120 club. But we cannot confirm that. When right now we deal with straight facts.
Straight facts, FAX.
So we don't know.
We don't know. So anyway, if you needed a reason to come to Friday's game, Game Time would be a good reason. All right, you can save up to 60% off buying last minute tickets for sports, concerts, theater, comedy, and more. You save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats with zone deals. The all-in pricing, toggling that feature shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout because no one likes a bait and switch. All right, they got you get a panoramic view from your seat when you buy. You get the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. And they have Game Time ticket coverage, where your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with code CHGO for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So.
Yeah, I love what you were talking about, Palencia. I love what Palencia has done in the last, 2 weeks. 2 weeks or so. He's starting to build a nice resume, starting to really strengthen his spot in the triangle of trust, the circle of trust, the trust tree, all of those things. And I do think he has the type of stuff that will let the season play out. If he can keep doing it, then he will be in the conversation for a guy that could potentially be in the closer role or high leverage situations when it really matters, specifically later in the season. And yes, I saw Becky and Rhonda talking about how Gage Tater Workman, DFA'd by the White Sox. Bring Tater back is what I say. Get him back, get him in the system somehow. Find a way, get Tater back. I found this odd. And did you see the report that Kevin Alcantra is out of Baseball America's top 100?
I did not see this.
Well, first of all, Alcantra, we know this is one of the only reasons I'm not saying I don't trust Baseball America or anybody that works there. I'm just saying we know that if the Cubs are going to go get a frontline starter, that they're probably going to have to give, let's say it's the other Alcantra or whatever, or Dylan Cease. I don't know why they would trade him. They're going to have to give up some of their good prospects, and the name of Alcantara and Casey have been obviously thrown out there because the Cubs, if they were to re-sign Kyle Tucker, wouldn't need one of those prospects potentially outfield. Now, I don't know if this is somebody that's out there trying to lower his value, but the quote was, Alcantara remains a solid prospect, but there are concerns that he has somewhat stagnated at AAA. Now he's slashing .257, .333, .400, 2 home runs, 16 RBI in 28 games this season at Iowa. Okay. I don't know how you would go from 66 to out of baseball in 28 games. That seems like
out of the top 100, you mean?
I'm sorry, out of the top 100 in 28 games, how you would go from 66 to 10 whatever he is. Seems a little silly.
Yeah.
But
Steven in the chat says Fangraph still has him in their top 100. I don't know if they've done an update. I know
it's about when people do the updates.
I know Pipeline did their update yesterday, and he's still in their top 100 for anyone who wants a counter argument.
I don't even know if I can say he's stagnated. I just don't know if people really know where a prospect's at.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Listen, you go look at Pete Carl Armstrong's numbers in AAA and last year, and before he came up in 2023, and it's not like they stick out as some crazy stat. And let's just talk about a guy that we saw tonight, Matt Mervis. He had insane minor league numbers, and we all clamored for him in 2022, and we didn't get him.
With Caleb Killian.
And then we got him in 23, and he wasn't very good. He got another opportunity last year, wasn't good. He's seemed to kind of take off with the Marlins, but looks like he's slumping right now. So I don't know what to think about Matt Mervis, but I don't think that we necessarily miss him. Caleb Killian, you just mentioned, he had a great major league debut, but other than that, but I don't think he was ever a top 100 guy.
Who will have the revenge series? Will it be Matt Mervis or Vidal Brujan? Who will have a moment in this series?
I would guess it would most likely be Mervis.
Mervis is probably more likely to catch a home run or something, knock one out, but
I thought he hit one pretty well tonight in his second or third at bat, but the wind blowing in didn't help him. Bush would have hit one out if the wind wasn't blowing in. Baseball Savant said, I think in his first at bat, he would have hit a home run at Yankee Stadium and at the Yankees spring training complex where the Rays are playing this year in his first at bat. But wind blowing in tonight.
I heard an interview with Vidal Brujan. I think it was on the Score before the game.
Vidal Brujan was on the Score?
Well, through a translator.
Okay.
And they asked him, like, what players have influenced you in your journey? And the first one he said was Sammy Sosa.
Oh, yeah, man.
I'm trying to think who else he mentioned. There was another one that was real. I can't remember who it was. There was another one I was like, who? What? He mentioned Justin Turner on this year's team.
Mm.
And there were two other names. I was like, interesting. One of them was Christian Bethancourt.
Barry Bonds.
Must have, Barry Bonds.
Back to this Alcantra thing.
A little surprising to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think more and more people view Baseball America as the better, prospect ranking website. But at the end of the day, man, I still think that Kevin Alcantara is just as toolsy as a Pete Carl Armstrong. PCA is off to is having an MVP caliber season. I don't know if Kevin Alcantara one day is going to be an MVP player.
He's only 22.
Sure, yeah.
Right? There's plenty of time for him to get to the majors.
Sure, right. My thing with him, though, or the reason that I've always liked him is I think he plays with a swag that is beneficial for your team. He has great power when he does lift the ball. We saw it in spring training. And I do think that his defense is plus in the outfield. So that's where I'm at on him, and that's how I've always kind of thought about him. But has he stood out in Iowa this year? No, but he didn't play a lot of games in Iowa last year either. He might just need more time. And there's the thing about Alcantara. Say they put Ian Happ on the injury list tomorrow. Mm-hmm. He's on the 40-man. I do think he would be the first guy they call up. I think a lot of fans would rather see Ballesteros because he's hitting in Iowa. But just knowing how the Cubs operate, I think they would call up Alcantara first.
Well, that was my next question. What would they do?
And play him in left and then move Seiya back to DH. That's what I think that they would do if they actually did put Ian Happ on the injured list. I'd love to be wrong because I would prefer to see Ballesteros, but I think the Cubs would call up Alcantara just because he's on the 40-man ready to go.
Now, the only thing I thought of when because it's an oblique, I don't know what to say. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know if he's back tomorrow. I don't know if he's back after the series. I don't know if he's back next week. If they did have to put him on the injured list, why not try Seiya in left, PCA in center, let him control most of left field too, Tucker and Wright, and then you could call up Ballesteros and let him DH.
Yeah. No, listen, that's what I would prefer. That is what I would prefer because I think Ballesteros would be a really good offensive boost for this team, and you'd be able to play him every day. Now, what would you do after Ian Happ comes back? You worry about that then. But I think they're going to try and go as long as they can without doing it. It helped that they won tonight.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, though. The Cubs catchers have been great, but I feel like the value of Carson Kelly is that he can give you really good stuff, but just not playing every day. He DH'd tonight, so it's fine, whatever. But
I liked him DHing instead of Justin Turner DHing right now.
Yes, absolutely.
I'd rather have both catchers in the lineup than I would Turner at the moment.
Yeah.
Especially Turner like batting third.
I guess my only other thing about this Happ oblique thing is, and I've done this tangent way too many times. It's like tomorrow will be the fourth day. If he is not in the lineup tomorrow, I will undoubtedly come on this podcast and probably do some dumb rant about we are playing a man down. Just make a decision. Put him on the injured list already.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, I know they're banged up and they have a stretch. You guys yesterday talked about the leadoff thing with PCA's been leading off because Happ's not there, and everybody's been clamoring for PCA's leadoff, and he might be that guy someday. I agreed with everything you guys were saying. It's just not yet for PCA. We don't need to have him there. You have Ian Happ there when he's healthy, and he's the perfect guy. Was Dexter Fowler the best player on the 2016 Cubs? No, he was just a perfect fit as the leadoff guy, and that's where Happ fits in on this team right now. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean I think Happ is going to have a better career than PCA. It doesn't mean I think he's having a better season than PCA. Doesn't mean I think he's more exciting than PCA. He's just the better choice as leadoff guy right now when he's back and healthy.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against PCA.
With Happ out right now, if you say Happ's out again tomorrow, I don't mind seeing PCA at the top of the lineup.
I don't either.
But when this team's at full health, I don't have him up there. And until we see him taking more pitches in at bats, being able to control his own chase rate coming down. He loves to go after those high fastballs out of the zone. Some of those balls in the dirt sometimes. I just think Happ has a better zone, and he takes more pitches, and he works more walks, and he just finds a way to get on base. PCA tonight, he did walk. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
he did walk,
and good to see.
And I enjoy it. Every time he does it, my hair stands up on my arms. All right, but I need to see more. But yeah, with if Happ's out tomorrow, I'm fine with seeing him up there. But yeah, so
hair on your arms. Right, there it went. Yep. Cubs win 5-2. Ben Brown tomorrow. Can he turn it around at home? He's been great on the road this season. Can he be great at Wrigley tomorrow night against the Marlins? That's what we're looking for. 2 in a row against the Marlins. We'll be back here with a full post-game show after the game. Hope you'll join us on the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel. Please hit the like button on the way out. How are we just at 83?
Hit the like button. And Ben Brown coming off 5 strong innings against the Giants.
Yep.
I'm asking for 6+ tomorrow from Ben Brown. I'm asking for 6+. He's had 2 really good starts, in my opinion. Keep building.
I would like 6 dominant innings out of Ben Brown tomorrow.
Against this Marlins team, he can do it.
That's what I would like to see.
Command is key. Don't walk anyone. So
5-2. Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs podcast presented by Toyota and Bet365. Cubs win. Let's try to win again tomorrow. Until then, fly the W.
We all silly like the mayor.